Welcome everyone to our webinar this afternoon on experiencing Alaska by land with Railbookers. Before we get started, we have some downloads for you today. Don't forget to ask any questions as we go, and please add them in the question box at the end of the presentation. I will get to them and we will have a little question time. So everybody, please feel free to ask questions as we go. Also, I just wanted to point out our website, which is railbookers.com.au, and our phone number 1300 938 534. Thank you so much for joining us again today. My name's Joanne Karaboikis, and it's a delight to introduce my colleague Charlene, who is here with us today. She's our expert on Alaska, and she will be going through the presentation with us today as well, and going through some amazing itineraries throughout Alaska. So before we get started, why don't we give that question box a bit of a go? Is there a destination which you might be interested in? It doesn't need to be Alaska. It can be anywhere in the world. It can be USA or Canada or Europe, anywhere at all. We cover all destinations. So if the train goes there, so do we. You might be looking at a particular train journey or a region where the trains can take you. You might be looking at a specific, activity or excursion you want to do. So, please feel free to actually give that a go and pop it in the box, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. And oh look, we've got some great destinations coming through now. We've got Australia, we've got New Zealand and the USA. Thank you so much. We do have packages to all those destinations, especially Australia, which is we've got beautiful itineraries on the Ghana and the Indian Pacific just on our doorstep, and also New Zealand, we do have packages there as well. So thank you so much, and I'm sure that a lot of people might be wanting to travel at the moment, and there's just so many gorgeous places that once we are able to travel that we can actually go to. So thanks again for putting down those itineraries. So why travellers love Railbookers? There are a lot of people who have come to Railbookers year after year. So whether it's a short itinerary or a bucket list trip of a once in a lifetime, it's what we specialise in. All those beautiful itineraries that incorporate rail and scenic journeys throughout the world. We are a one-stop shop. We can get that itinerary out to you at the time of your call. So when you do call us, you'll get through in not too long time, and you'll be able to, speak to one of our consultants, and we'll get that quote done for you on the spot. We have also 24-hour support. So no matter where you are in the world, if you need to call us, whether you're traveling or whether you're calling us today for, a question regarding an itinerary, we are here to assist you. Our deposit is only $250 per person, and that secures your booking. So, there's no risk of price fluctuation or any changes, to the pricing at all. That's because your itinerary is locked in with that deposit paid. All our itineraries are customizable. So they're there to show you on our website, to show you a little bit about what we've got, what our itineraries are like. They are very popular, but if there's an itinerary that you want to put together that we may not have on our website, we can certainly do that for you. And if there is an itinerary that is on our website, you want to do it in the reverse, or you want to add some nights to it or change the accommodation, we can certainly do that too. So we can really tailor make that itinerary to suit your dates, travel dates, and your budget. What does Railbookers offer? It's really like a one-stop shop booking experience for you, and an easy way for you to travel. Like any vacation package you have booked in the past, our packages include everything from rail transportation to hotels, sightseeing tours, transfers, and much, much more. So with something like hotels, we do predominantly include 4-star hotels in our packages. But if you're looking at a 3-star property, or you want to upgrade to something beautiful and 5-star for a special anniversary, we can do that too. So we can tailor make that hotel request for you. And if there's a specific sightseeing tour that you've always wanted to do, somewhere like Switzerland or somewhere within Italy or any destination in the world, let us know, because chances are we can actually, book that for you as well. Don't forget, confirmed seat reservations always. So you always will be holding a confirmed ticket in your hand. And those overnight rail journeys, which are the bucket list experiences, they do book out, and I can absolutely vouch for that. They do book out 12 months in advance. So if there's a train journey that you want to do, and it is a once in a lifetime experience, it's always a good idea to lock that in nice and early. Today, Yankee Holidays has several brands offering rail vacations worldwide. So here we have our two main brands. We've got Amtrak Vacations, which covers USA, a little bit about Canada there as well, and also Railbookers brochure, which has the world, has a little bit of everything in there. We really do specialize in Europe and Canada and Switzerland, which you can see the beautiful picture there of the beautiful viaduct over in Switzerland as well. So these two are great brochures, and they do feature all our best-selling packages. Now, we know that today is all about Alaska. We are just about to get to Alaska, but I just wanted to quickly show you a little bit about Europe. And this is a map which shows all the different train lines, high-speed train lines that operate within Europe. They don't talk to each other. They're all different companies. But what we do is we can actually book all these 24 months in advance. We are the rail experts, and we know exactly where these trains go and the best routes to recommend to you. We have access to all these trains, 24 months in advance as well. So we can book them nice and early and really secure those best departures, those best prices for you. And all the options that there are around the world. So how is Alaska Railroad maintaining a safe environment? First of all, face coverings are required while boarding and on board the train. Face coverings can be removed while you're eating and drinking. And on board the train, there is a dedicated custodial porter that will sanitize surfaces, door handles, restrooms every 30 minutes, and seating areas after passengers have disembarked. Alaska Railroad also has capped its occupancy at 50% to allow more space between passengers. Boarding processes have been staggered to allow for small group boarding. Also, in the dining compartments on the train, Gold Star dining room. This is a beautiful area to have your meals. And what they have done is provided the social distancing there as well. All the dining room tables have been sanitized every few hours as well. So that's always done as well. And the Wilderness Cafe that you can grab a sandwich and go has also been sanitized as you go. So yeah, so that's all been done for you. So reasons to travel through Alaska. So I'll pass you on to Charlene now, and she'll go through some of the great reasons why you would be traveling through Alaska. So Charlene, are you there? And I'll just pass you over to you. You can take over from now. How are you going, Charlene?
Sure thing, Joanne. Oh, wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, yeah, I thought I'd run through a few reasons why you would like to travel through Alaska by land. Well, to start off with, the train is actually as spectacular as the destination. And I'm going to show you through how great the Alaska Railroad is. But really, it does take you to some parts of Alaska that are inaccessible by cruise. And I know that a lot of people will love to do the cruise through Alaska, but consider the rail as another option. The reason being is that way you're going to be able to create your own schedule, and you don't need to follow any group tours set schedules. So you're able to really see the heart of Alaska at your own pace. Now, in terms of when the best time is to travel, Joanne, sorry about that. I will take you back to this. So when the best time to travel through Alaska by land is actually through the US summer. So the American summer, June to September, is a great time to go. Reason being is that great highlight of Denali National Park. It's open during that time. You get to have some great sightseeing of wildlife, fjords, as well as other great opportunities to get in amongst the nature of this wild place. So I said that I really do think that taking the train is a great way to go in Alaska, mainly because your cruises at the moment aren't actually operating. The rail is. And the rail is going to wind you through the mountainsides. It's going to take you through that Kenai Peninsula, through the massive glaciers and the towering waterfalls that all can be seen along the way on the rail. There's many sites and landscapes there that are inaccessible any other way, and that's including by road. So you really are going to travel through the wilderness and the remote areas of Alaska. And by traveling independently, you can do it at your own pace and have that free time to explore all those highlights. So the Alaska Railroad itself, you can see here, we've got a map of the full length. So it actually does have scenic routes through the country. There's several segments of it. The entire journey, though, is just jaw-dropping when it comes to views and nature. So it takes you from the seafront through the national parks, the historical villages, and the wild, untamed north. And the main packages that we use will use the routes of the Coastal Classic and Denali Star. But that's not to say that if you want to go and try out somewhere different, we can offer that for you as well. So on board the Alaska Railroad, we have two options available. Adventure class is what we use in our packages. You can see here it's a very comfortable class of travel. It includes the confirmed seats there with the large picture windows. You've got onboard dining and bar service. Everything's available for purchase at the Wilderness Cafe when you're in the adventure class. And you're going to have the freedom to explore between all the different cars of the adventure class and the access to the open seating of the Vista Dome car, which you can see on the bottom left-hand side here. If you think it sort of looks familiar, the reason being is that it actually uses some of the old Rocky Mountaineer trains. So very much the adventure class is the same as sort of the silver class of the Rocky Mountaineer if you've ever been on that. The Gold Star service. So the Gold Star service is the upgrade that you can take for premium class on board, and you're going to find glass dome ceilings. There's an upper level outdoor viewing platform. There's inclusive dining on the lower level as well, as we mentioned. So great food, but also there's a private bar, so you'll have 2 complimentary drinks included on your travels, and there's comfortable forward-facing seats and a tour guide that's going to provide narration throughout it. So let's kick off with these itineraries. I mentioned we've got a couple of them today. And the first one is the Alaska Adventure with Alaska Railroad. So it is a 9-day trip. It's you'll be able to experience everything that Alaska has to offer. So after you explore Anchorage, you would board the Alaska Railroad for a trip to Seward down the south, where you're going to cruise through the Kenai Fjords National Park. You're going to see wildlife, mountains and glaciers. Then you'll continue the journey north up to the town of Talkeetna, and then it's off to the crown jewel of Alaska, the Denali National Park. So the first place you'll be stopping is Alaska's largest city, the port of Anchorage. So it's known for being the major cultural hub there in Alaska. It's the primary gateway to the wilderness areas and also the mountains throughout Alaska. So the city centre, it's home to a number of key attractions. You've got the Alaskan Native Heritage Centre there. You've got the Anchorage Museum of History and Art, and also Alaska Wildlife Conservation Centre, which is actually my favourite. I love a little bit of wildlife, but particularly saving the wildlife, so good one to check out. And the city is also home to a diverse range of wildlife, particularly moose and bears. You can actually see them on just the city outskirts. So you don't need to go far to be able to get really out into the wilds of this wonderful state. Then you're going to head down south to Seward, and we take the Coastal Classic train down from Anchorage to reach there. It's actually one of the National Geographic travelers' top train rides in America. So what we do, we include accommodation overnight at the Windsong Lodge. It's in a spectacular wilderness setting. It's situated amongst the majestic Resurrection River, and it's just near the entrance to the Kenai Fjords National Park. Now in Kenai, you're going to be able to cruise around some remote islands. You'll see wildlife. There's sea lions, there's seals, maybe even whales. And you've also got the tidewater glaciers. I love it because they've got like icebergs in the midst of all this fjord area that you'll be cruising through. It really is quite unique. And no surprise, it is Alaska's #1 wildlife and glacier cruise. What we do, we include lunch as well as exclusive access to Fox Island. You're then going to get back on the train and you're going to head up north to Talkeetna. So Talkeetna is a charming small town. It's known as the gateway to Denali, and it's really got that mining history and great experiences to the great outdoors. So it is the home to the convergence of 3 major glacial rivers, makes for some really great excursions. So I would suggest if you get into Talkeetna, you can take one of the great trails in the area, do a little bit of a walk and explore on your own, or you can hop on a canoe and explore it by the water. And then you're going to get to the big highlight. So spending 2 nights in Denali National Park. And this encompasses actually 6 million acres of Alaska's rugged interior wilderness. So you'll enjoy a full day sightseeing out there, and that's including a visit to the Polychrome Overlook, which gets its name for the colourful volcanic rocks that you can see from that overlook. Also, it's a great spot to look out for bears, for moose, for caribou from far away enough that you're not going to disturb them. And then after that, Denali, you're going to take the train back to Anchorage for a final night stay. Our next itinerary is the Denali National Park with Alaska Railroad, southbound. So for those of you that are flying into Fairbanks Airport, which a few people do, this is the best itinerary for you to take because it is going southbound for you. And you're going to be able to discover Alaska, its unbeatable landscapes and mountains and glaciers from Fairbanks all the way down Denali, Talkeetna and Anchorage. So Fairbanks is known as the Golden Heart City, and it's because of its historic discovery of gold and also its early pioneering spirit. It's also known as the gateway to the far north, so that leads all the way up to the Arctic Circle. So great place to head into if you want to see sort of those northern lights, if you are going on the very tail end or the very start of that period, you may be able to spot them. And then heading into Denali, of course, big highlight. What we do is we stay at the Denali cabins, and they're situated in a quiet wooded setting away from all the larger resorts. So you're going to get a lot of peace and quiet there, real true Alaskan wilderness feel. And of course, the amenities and the comfort in this place are second to none. So we offer a full service dining for all the meals. You just need to add that on. And it's also the perfect base camp for hikes and adventures. And then in Talkeetna, we stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge, and it has really stunning views of Mount Denali, and it's also just minutes away from sort of hiking trails, rivers, and jet boat adventures. There is a free shuttle though, so you can get into town, you can explore it. As I said, it's very quaint. You've got lots of little shops and local breweries and restaurants to eat and drink at your heart's leisure. And then after you stay, you're going to head down south to Anchorage for 2 days. So you'll explore there before you head home or beyond. Now, for those of you who do want to just focus on the key locations, we offer the highlights of Alaska with Alaska Railroad. It's 7 days, taking in Anchorage, Seward and Denali. So it kicks off with a 2-night stay in Anchorage, then you head down to Seward, up north to Denali, and then return for one final night in Anchorage. The main difference with this itinerary is that you just have a day trip to Seward rather than an overnight stay. But it is enough time to allow you to see the jaw-dropping scenery and the picturesque downtown area. So for this itinerary, we include the Resurrection Bay half-day tour, and that's with lunch whilst they're in Seward. So it goes out to remote islands, it gives you the chance to witness its wildlife, and then in the evening you'll head back by train to Anchorage. And then finally, for those with just less than a week to explore, there is the Denali Express with Alaska Railroad. It's a 6-day itinerary. So after exploring Anchorage, you'll board Alaska Railroad for the scenic journey to Denali and spend the day there venturing deep into the wilderness of the national park. You'll see where the forest gives way to the high alpine tundra and also the snow-capped mountains. And after your time in Denali, you're going to head back to Anchorage on board the train. So what we'll do when you're in Anchorage, we'll include the Anchorage trolley tour. This is a 1-hour guided tour and it explores the highlights of Anchorage. So there's Earthquake Park. Back in, I believe it was the 30s, you had a massive earthquake there in Anchorage, which leveled part of the town. So you can see the remnants of that. But you're also going to get out to Westchester Lagoon. It's a great location for wildlife spotting. And also you'll travel through some historic neighbourhoods. I really recommend, if you are going to do this tour, to do it in the morning. That way you've got the afternoon free to go back to any of the locations that you want to spend more time in. And then in Denali, we offer a full day tour that goes deepest into the park. So we have a stop in Kantisha, and there you're going to have a chance to go gold panning. You can take a hike, or you can join a guided history tour there. So lots to do, and of course, lots of photo opportunities, both for the wildlife and for the mountain locations. We also include lunch there. It's at a wonderful lodge in the heart of the park, and you'll visit that polychrome overlook I mentioned earlier. And all these elements are unique to Denali National Park. So hopefully what I've done is whetted your appetite with these stunning images and itineraries, and I would love to know, what destination are you most interested in visiting? Have I whetted that appetite enough? I know for myself, I can't wait to get back to Seward. Seward is a fantastic little town. Not only does it have that access to Kenai Fjords National Park, it actually has a bit of Russian history going on down there. So there's some really unique, quaint churches and restaurants that I loved exploring in the town centre. How about you, Joanne? Do you have anywhere that you like to visit there, or maybe there's someone else that's mentioned something?
Well, yeah, but I would personally love to do the dog sled ride in Fairbanks. I think that would be such a thrill. And as a little girl, I always wanted to do something like that as well. So I would so much enjoy that. But we've had a lot of people just say how amazing that Alaska is, and they would also love to do the fjords, because the Kenai Fjords, you do get a bit of everything. You know, you've got a few, gorgeous, you've got the beautiful scenery there, the mountains, you've got the glaciers as well. There's so much there to see. So that's been quite a highlight. And of course, Denali. Denali is one of those must-see bucket list places to go for a few days, I think. So they've been the two best places that everybody's been talking about. But I think Alaska is such a popular destination, and it's all open spaces, I think, and there's just so much to see and do, and every day would be a new discovery. So I totally think that it would be a gorgeous place to visit. But thank you to everyone for that. I will just move on with our presentation. So now we'll look at the maximum flexibility offer. So really important to know a little bit about what we're doing at the moment with any bookings that you might have in place, or any changes that you need to make. And if you are looking at making a reservation with us, please do so, because once you've put that deposit down, there is no risk of price fluctuation, and you can secure your bookings up to 24 months in advance. Now, any changes, if you let us know before the 30th of September, we will be able to make those changes for you without incurring any cancellation fees or change fees. And I actually call it's the peace of mind offer for you as well. Now, we do have specials in place at the moment. So all throughout the world, because we do book the world, we will have some specials throughout for different various packages. So we've got Australia on sale, saving of $300, and Queensland are saving there, and also the Ghan and the Indian Pacific, two iconic train journeys which are currently on sale. Now, we have been featured in a few publications throughout the years, and we were also the 2019 winner of the Rail Operator of the Year, and that was at the Travel Awards, at the Weekly Travel Awards, and that was a great moment, proud moment for us as well. And we have webinars, as you know, every week, and these are the next webinars that we have. So if you have your calendars there and you'd love to join us again, I've seen so many people that have, been on our webinars, and we always have different destinations, different interest groups, always join us. So we'd love to see you again. 1st of September is our next one coming up, and it's going to be a bumper of a webinar. We've got rail alternatives for cruise holidays, and I hope you guys can all join us for that as well. And all of the webinars that we have in September going right through to the end of the month as well. Now it's question time. Now, if you do have any questions, now is the time to ask, but I'm going to start off with some of the questions that were asked earlier on in the presentation. So we'll get to those ones first. Now, anybody who we can't get to, we'll definitely get in touch with you later on today. But we've had some great questions. The first one is regarding solo travel. Now, this is a good question because our consultants do get asked about this quite a fair bit. And we do have rates for solo travel. So whether you're overnighting on a train, whether you're doing, one of these Alaska packages, or going to Europe or anywhere else in the world with accommodation and sightseeing tours, we do have prices available for solo travelers. So different itineraries, though, different pricing. But yeah, that's a great question, and we certainly can assist you with that. Another question which I have just seen come through was the minimum the minimum stay. Now, the minimum stay is not really a problem with our packages at all. You'll see that our packages are anywhere from a short stay, 5 nights, for example, in Switzerland. Even our packages to Alaska, are 6 to 7 days. And the packages can go to anywhere that, as long as you like to stay away. So, if you want to do a package for 15 days, for example, we can certainly do that for you also. So that's a great question. And another question we have is regarding the deposits. Now, the deposits are $250 per person, not per booking. So that's a great question. And that once that's paid, that's all locked in. So that's great. And another question we have is about booking online. Now, we do have the 1300 number, so you'll get through to us in about 3 seconds, and we'll be able to, quote for you over the phone and give you the pricing that based on your budget, based on where you want to go, the dates you want to travel, and number of passengers, of course, and whatever accommodation you need. And that's how we price the itinerary for you, so we can actually piece that together while you're waiting for us over on the phone. So we'll just kick on and we'll finish up the presentation. But I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you all with us today. And you can book us anywhere from 2 days to 2 years prior to departure. So even if you are looking at traveling in 2021 or 2022, we can certainly make that booking for you. And if you want to book, anywhere up to 2 days prior to departure, we have rates, and we can actually quote you 2 days prior to departure also. So this is a great photo. It's our team that are all over the world. We have offices in Australia, 2 offices in the USA, in Canada, also in the UK. So no matter where you are in the world, if you need us, we're here for you. And if you call us on that 1300 number, you'll get through to us, and we can certainly assist you from any office worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Our office is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Stay safe, and we hope to see you again. It's been a pleasure to have you with our webinar today, and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.